Further down the road, as you can see, I'm walking towards another section. Another set of fires preparing to be lit. Further down the road there, they're preparing. This is between Hillfoot and Kurukururu on the Linden Source Highway. I understand that the fire truck has been deployed to the area. Can't reach us yet, but a fire truck has been deployed to the area. This is the situation here at Hillfoot between Kurukururu and Hillfoot on the Linden Source Highway.
Of course, this is happening live.
Morning, good afternoon. Yeah, morning.
On the Linden Tuesday Highway, happening now. 2 different locations on the Linden Tuesday Highway.
Police have just been alerted
Not sure if there are other parts of the country.
to attempts to light another section of the road.
This is what's happening currently in Guyana. Linden Tuesday Highway. Maybe other parts of Guyana. I'm not sure.
I'm live. I'm live.
Oh my God, we can't talk this live business. We can't talk live business.
People are standing up.
Too late.
Too late?
Yes.
Oh God, they hear me now. Just like the. It's too late.
Yeah.
Oh God, I know.
Spread the word so that let's try to avoid smiling and speaking sometimes, you know. Yeah, but Travis Chase is live there on the ground, so spread the word, share the link so that people all over social media can see what's happening in Guyana. So let's see what this is going to be like, this sort of confrontation. Citizens are beginning to fight back. They're standing up. They're not taking any crap, and we applaud those citizens who are doing it in a very peaceful manner. So we will be monitoring. In fact, we are monitoring the situation to see how the police treat these folks. These folks are frustrated, they're upset, and rightly so. Their homes were destroyed last evening. Some of them were beaten by members of the police and police force. And so let's see what's happening. Let's head right back to Travis Chase.
And let me see how this will unfold. I can hear sirens in the distance. That was just, I understand the commander of this police division has just arrived. The divisional commander Watch it. Sorry.
This is what British people do, standing up for the country, standing up for the law.
It's a confrontation between the police, the commander, Mr. Mahinder Singh. The ranks are trying to clear the road.
I'm not even sure how
but the protesters are demanding that they need justice.
That's what the residents have to do. Look at what's happening here. The residents have to do what they have to do. Their lives have been destroyed, compromised. The residents have to do what they have to do. No one is encouraging violence. The lives have been destroyed. Women have been beaten. Men have been fucked up. Look at this homeless guy.
Very clear. If and when we are getting instructed for action, don't ask me why I'm reporting to you. I am reporting to you that there are about 8 persons here, males and females. 2 police officers are assaulted in my prison. Constable Edward, members of the media are standing by as if this is a spectatorial show. I am making it clear that after the instruction, it is for action. This crowd is no longer behaving in a manner which indicates.
They know that the police have shot somebody and they do not do that.
Action,
That is Commander Mr. Mahinder Singh.
Mahinder Singh is a
You're live.
I am seriously
Yes.
This which is happening is not as a result of police action. Let's be very clear. This is not as a result of the action of my police or me. This happened. You're disturbing me. This happened as a result of a private action report by the owner or supposed lawful owner of this property to my right.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with the police.
So why were the police?
Are here to maintain the peace.
Why were the police on the land yesterday?
The police are starting here to maintain a breach to maintain that no peace is breached. The police present to reinforce the decided to assault persons who are there on the property.
You're aware that the police fired knife rounds yesterday?
No, my police there. The sergeant here was there yesterday. So I will tell you that I do not know, nor am aware that she is performed.
I was there yesterday when shots fired.
Yeah.
3 persons were arrested for reference to disorderly behavior and other offenses. And if you would observe, this which is happening here is tantamount to what kind of activity?
You tell me.
Public terror. Causing public terror. Is this how civil society behave?
Yes.
Is this how lawfully abiding citizens behave?
Isn't there
And we must not blame it that the police provoke anyone to cause this happen. That is not so. You can feel the next sentence coming. The police are not here to harm anyone. The police are here to maintain the peace. How then can them come out? No, because what a situation with those exist.
Do you have somebody within your division that can negotiate with the protesters?
Why do you think the commander is here? What do you saw me doing? What you saw me doing?
I'm listening to you.
But what you can observe, give me a fair hearing.
Mm-hmm.
You can listen to yourself and see the behavior practice. Instead of engaging, they are provoking. But the police will not be provoked. They are trained professionals. And like yesterday, we will regain here to ensure peace, prevail, the road is clear. This is not another occurrence like another one which occurred in this one.
So can you qualify 2 or 3 persons and negotiate?
Excuse me, I need to help you. It's just a speaking on me, right?
Okay.
Yes.
Are you willing to engage with some of
That's why I'm here, and since I came, that's the first thing I did, and I'm willing to continue.
I heard
Everything I've received and the leadership provided to me is to engage.
I heard you call them thugs on your radio set. Why would you do that? you call them thugs. Yes, you said I have you on record saying that they're okay.
Maybe you heard someone say so.
No, I heard you. No, I heard you say they're nothing but thugs.
This thing is quoting someone like I hear the same exact same.
Yes, sir.
And then you and the report thug I am citizen and the thug. Listen to me carefully.
Listen.
You quote me on that.
No. Hold on, sir. But you said just now that they are nothing but thugs in your own words.
If you wish to put words in the mouth for them. What I'm saying to you, I'm here to engage. If you wish to assist the process, do so.
No,
and I trust you that you were here last night.
I was.
And other people were here this morning.
I was here this morning as well.
So I thank you for your assist. And I am going to use the law to enlist.
I understand.
To cause them to do your everything.
Enjoy the Mississippi. What a job.
Controversial guy is now commander. According to Travis, we got to go back to residence funds. Now he wants to negotiate. Tonight that police handled votes last week, and this is what's happening.
The police improved them, nobody else.
Yeah.
Nobody else, the police improved them.
Yeah, the police said they shoot and all that.
Exactly, but the police carry the people.
Okay.
The police issue peace to the people and respect to the people. So the people rebel against that, so they make comfortable. So why you provoking them more to anger them? They make them comfortable already.
The commander said no shots were fired yesterday.
No shots were fired. Them Billy Child mother, the lion, they want to talk the right thing. Everybody's want to feel right and talk right. Nobody want to look wrong. They want to point fingers though. Everybody want to point fingers though. Nobody want to look wrong.
Thank you, brother.
You understand?
So that's all I want to say. I live on the highway here. And it's kind of sad, right? But no, it's touching last night to see that children at my back road.
Wow.
No, it's a sad thing. But I'm glad the government will look into it and help these people back.
Thank you. So zinc structure has been placed in the middle of the road. We see the arrival of okay, you just stay in the corner, right? Stay away. Arrival of backup, and they're going to he did say thugs. He did say thugs.
But maybe they don't have water.
Yeah.
The residents are standing up for their rights. Residents around the country should stand up for their rights whenever they're being brutalized.
So if you have business up the Linden Like Highway, do not approach until the police have rectified the situation. This is at the beginning of Hillfoot. Tall zinc structure has been erected in the middle of the road, supported by T-shores and other forms of debris in front of the fire service. Now,
that was the police officer who said he don't have time to wait. The same brown clothes.
this is a commando.
Yes, but he said you don't have time to wait. That's not gonna move. You don't want some to catch you in this place. He lied. Lies, he said.
He said no shots were fired yesterday.
Shots were fired.
He said that. He said
shots were fired.
Yeah.
The man who videoed the carry. The man who videoed the shots, they beat you and carry up. They beat the man like a dog and carry.
Wow. So you see the fire service now, they're going to attempt to put the fire out, but the residents are standing their ground. Shots, Andre, keep shooting, please. Keep videoing. Sorry. You expect to say you woke up this morning, right? Shots. Police, move back. The police have opened fire. 2 shots. They're shot. Look. Oh my goodness. Watch it. Go home. Police moving to bring somebody into. Look at this. Andre, move. Oh my goodness. They're holding him up, fighting. This is holding on. They're holding a protester. Don't kick him. Don't kick the guy, man. Just take him into custody. Don't kick him. This is what is happening here. It's a shot.
Hello.
The police are attempting to get the protesters. Yeah. I'm moving. Situation is- Yeah. Where's she?
What's that on there?
Auntie, where were you shot? You were shot? Where?
I'm making peace for the people to stop with the police.
Yeah, I saw that. Let me see the shot. Oh, the bullet grazed you. Oh my goodness. I see it. Yeah. Stay with the protest. So a bullet has grazed a bystander. She's bleeding. Police have putting out the fire. Where do you live? You need to get help. You need to get emergency. You need to get immediate help. I'm going to try to get another close-up. Some of the protesters are being arrested by police, placed into the vehicles. It's not. She was not. The lady who was shot was not. No, she was not. Officer, this lady here, she needs help. She was not part of the protest. She wanted them to stop lighting on the road. Come on, me. Look, the police talking to you. Look. Come, go to the police. Let them take it for help.
I tried to make peace. I tried to call you all on the phone. Minister, we make peace here and the police that just come through and I'm being to say the people here are broken with everybody and making peace. And the problem with the peacemaker. Nobody even bringing no medical to me.
Meanwhile, over this end, you're fighting with Hey. Hey, come on. Yeah. Shot, another one. Police down.
Hey. Don't feel
Jesus Christ.
Get on my foot.
T. Hello. Move from there. So several protesters have been taken into custody. Police have opened fire. They've cleared one section of the road. This is all unfolding here on the Linden-Suzdijk Highway.
We can't stand up to we rights. We can't talk. We can't protest. If we don't want to hold down the place, we can't talk. They're murderers.
A woman needs medical attention.
Oh God, this we facing right now. Murderers. My brother up on the vehicle and he do nothing on this fucking vehicle passing here.
Shoot me right.
Let me see your hands.
Murderers.
Where is it?
Yeah, they shoot me right.
Yes, we are.
It's up. It's live. It's live. It's live. Don't curse. Don't curse.
They shoot me. They shoot us, not one. I'm about watch. Watch. They shoot me.
Murderers!
So now get fired. Us on the road. We need to be fired. We need justice. They need to be fired.
Murderers! Diana, police force! Diana, police force!
Fired! They shoot me. They shoot us.
It's a corrupt fucking country. You want to stand up for it. Hey, shoot the fucking us. Yeah, the rights.
Nonsense!
Yeah. Let me see the. Yeah. I see a husband gun in the vehicle.
Oh, yeah, I want to take it off. Yeah, I'm going to fucking right now. Yeah, they are all players.
Follow. That's the other way. Missiles being thrown. See? Yeah, I'm moving. Yeah.
You know, this is happening now. Seen a couple of comments where folks are asking whether this is now. Of course, it's live. It's now on the Linden Soosdijk Highway. This continued from last evening. People were brutalized by members of the Guyana Police Force and other questionable characters representing the PPPC, and also in defense of some questionable businessman who is claiming the people's land. And this is the lawlessness that the PPP has been encouraging since they have gotten into office through questionable circumstances. They go into communities, they remove people by force from their properties, and they brutalize the people. You just saw live on social media that the police opened fire on the people. Police commander, we'll get back to that tape, allegedly called the people thugs even before. As he stepped foot there to negotiate, he called them thugs. We will get back to that tape recording. This is something that's happening live right now. People want real leadership on the ground. We're not seeing leadership. The people just need that guidance. Hence, we see that there's a call for the APNU AFC members of parliament to head down there. And I'm not saying that all of them should, but at least we should see quite a few of them on the ground from the leadership of the PNCR as well, on the ground with the people to find out what's going on, to show representation and all these manner of things. Representation doesn't come from a silly Facebook post to talk about what we already know, what we have already seen live from last night to now. People need to see our representatives on the ground as these things happen on the ground. There's no time for, hold back. Who gets vexed? Well, that's their prerogative. But at the end of the day, this is a sad situation that's happening in the country right now. We're told that people out in Linden might be planning the same. We're told that people on the quarantine might be planning the same. People out in other parts of Guyana might be planning the same to shut the country down. If it happens, people are doing this through peaceful means. And we didn't see this when people vent their frustrations in other parts of mainly PPP strongholds. They weren't treated like this. The installed president and all of them rushed down to assist, and they rushed with hundreds of millions of dollars to dole out to their support base and say, look, take this money, take this compensation. But not a single regime representative, not a single representative from the PPP is out there to sympathize with the people. Instead, what they did, they hoods their dogs in the Guyana Police Force after the people to shoot and brutalize the people. We've seen women being shot. And this is not propaganda. You've seen it live right here. Women and others being shot right here, live on TV, live on social media. So this is what's happening right now in Guyana. We have seen it for So some of you who have never seen it, you got this chance to see it firsthand as to what is happening. But we're not hearing that people are preparing to go on the ground. I see Shivani said that one of the MPs is preparing to go on the ground. It's almost 10 o'clock. They should have been on the ground since it got bright. They should have been there on the ground with the people. I'm not sure where Annette Ferguson is. Annette Ferguson, the member of parliament, she is a shadow minister of housing. It's 10 o'clock. She should have been on the ground already. All right, let's get back to the people, please.
The lady passing through your mother's foot. So the fucking lady and then chasing the lady.
That's not a man
For the wrong assistance to the lady. Small, you should kill up all of your mother's fun bike. I hear this up on bare stupid bike. All I hear them are from my phone.
You guys it.
This man get shoot to Travis. Travis, this man get shoot to. This man get shoot to chest.
Okay, what's the man chest? I should put on just the man see with the thing pass through. Put on the back, you see the pass through yours. The man is like, okay, that could have been people who are not who walk up and say people for them to do.
You know the bundle and the school in class, right? Yeah. This man is happy.
You don't mean that don't look at me up on the last
So it's another set of police ranks further up the Linden Highway. They're clearing the road.
Yep. As you know, this it's a Linden Highway, so there is oftentimes they have this interruption with cell phones and cell phone calls, and because if you in the past, if you did speak with anybody on the Linden Suicide Highway who were those folks who are traveling, they would tell you that, you know, reception is very, 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 very poor. And this is what's happening on the Linden Soestdijk Highway at this time. We are hoping to see representatives of the APNU AFC on the ground with the people. We haven't seen any, but I was told that Nima Flu was out there with a camera live on Facebook. And what we're talking about is a heavy presence, a heavy, heavy presence. Somebody said Granger is quiet too. I don't know, like everything seemed to be Granger now these days. Granger is quiet. Granger, I'm told, is currently in a hospital in Cuba, undergoing medical checkup. Let's focus on the current leadership right now, which is what's absent at this point in time. So let's just be straight up. All right, so good morning. It's not too much of a good morning for those who are in Guyana. Another dorm burnt out in Region 9. There's a fire out in in South. Another fire out in South. And then we have the protest on the Linden Soestdijk Highway. Lots of things happening. Air Finale is in hiding. Jack Deere, the usual mouth talker. Let me say to you guys, this is not a morning for crap, but who call out who? Because let me say this to you, Mark Henry, if you need for me to address you, I'll address you. When I was calling out Granger and the coalition, you guys were quiet, you guys were cussing out, you guys were calling people like myself and a few others bitter people and all manner of things. So let's don't go that way. Let's don't go that route at all. All right? So don't tell me that I don't call people out. I call everybody out. But when we were calling out the coalition, what the coalition did, you guys were quiet. You guys were calling us bitter. You guys remember David Hines and Lincoln Lewis fired from the Chronicle for doing the same thing. So don't come with the BS here now. All right? I'm not in the mood for the BS. So we're still waiting to get some sort of a connection back. I don't know. Can somebody tell me whether the protest is still there? We have our operator Lemon is trying, and so we're talking about the current leadership now that is absent from the ground for the most part. They have a few MPs who are doing their thing, and we applaud those few MPs. But now the people are in need of real leadership. That is what the people. Thank you, Ivani. Yeah. Thank you. Travis probably either ran out of his battery died or very poor internet connection. After 20-something years of the corrupt and racist PPP regime, we still can't have proper internet in the country. We just can't have proper internet at all in the country, proper representation in the country as well. We hardly see the leadership of the AFC on the ground. We hardly see Ramjatan on the ground. We hardly see Cathy Hughes on the ground. We hardly see David Patterson on the ground. And for some of these people, well, we got to give the guy that, Duncan. We got to give Duncan some credit. Duncan is probably the busiest of the AFC people. Got to also give some credit to MP Ramsroop as well. And there are just a few who do their things within the AFC. But the top leadership of the AFC seem to gone into hiding. They seem to gone into hiding. We don't see Camarade at these sort of things. We don't see Cathy Hughes at these sort of things. I don't know what's happening. We don't see um, David Patterson and these sort of things. And I mean, I understand that people can be everywhere, so don't get me wrong. But when there's time for leadership on the ground, people need to see these elected officials. They don't need to see an elected official just on a press conference, a weekly press conference, and they talk up and that's it, or they issue some Facebook post. If the people of Guyana wanted to vote, if they wanted to vote for Facebook representatives, we would have gathered all of you guys. So we would have voted for. Let me see who I would have voted as my MP Facebook representative. Let me see who we could call out here. Facebook representative. We can elect our own parliament here too as well. Since most of these people in the coalition, the MPs, feel that representation is just on Facebook. So they do a quick post and they're gone. They snap a quick picture, they try to look nice, and they're gone. It's a fashion show now. We didn't vote for models. At least I didn't vote for models or Facebook for them to represent me or the people on Facebook. It's to represent the people on the ground. They should have been there on the ground already. And I would have nominated Afraz Osman. Represent me on Facebook. Charlene, represent me on Facebook. Marlon Nels, Margaret, represent me on Facebook. And John, represent me on Facebook. Brenda Casey, represent. These are people that I would have been voting for. Who else? Who else I would have? Petrie. Yeah, Petrie, I would have given her a vote to rep. Marlon. Lorima? No, I ain't voting for Marlon. I ain't voting for Marlon. I'll probably vote and let Marlon become the mayor, but not an MP. Good morning, Marlon. Yvonne Trotman, all of you guys I would have been voting for to represent us on Facebook, right here on Facebook. All of you guys, Simons, Desiree Simons, all of you guys I would have voted for because you guys seem to be doing more work. Seriously, I'm not trying to be facetious or anything. You guys seem to be doing more work than those elected officials, right? Rajendra Dinat, I would have voted for Rajendra as well. Well, who else? What can? Anita Christian, good morning to you. Here's what Anita is saying. Mark, Travis was there since 5 o'clock this morning. 5 o'clock this morning. Travis Chase and others, and probably a few others in the media, got out of their bed very early to be there, to risk their lives, to carry this live. And look, I gotta single out. I saw Royston Drakes there and so forth. Kudos to Royston Drakes as well, and the others from the media who were there, a few of them. But I gotta single out Travis Chase, especially for that question that he asked the commander. When the commander got there, Travis said he heard the commander describe the people as thugs. The commander did that, and the commander denied. And maybe our operator, Lemon, who barely made it into work this morning, let us head back to where we can possibly. Sorry, we're going to try to find that part of the video where it is alleged that the commander referred to the protesters, those peaceful, and mind you, they were peaceful. Don't get, as they say in Guyana, tie up with a couple of things being placed across the road for the people to express themselves. Because last night, you saw what happened. You saw what happened with them last night. They were beaten. Their homes were broken down. All in the interest of the PPP fighting for a corrupt businessman who suddenly owns the land. Whoever that businessman is or businessmen, And mind you, in this particular area, there are several unscrupulous so-called businessmen who are fighting to take away the people's lands. And guess what? The PPP is supporting them. I know of several persons. Somebody's saying no, Mark. I commend Travis for calling out and letting him know. Well, Miss Shoy Gibson, I'm saying we all should commend Travis Chase for that, and we're about to get the tape, so we all should. Okay? I'm in agreement with you guys. All right, I'm in agreement with you guys. But let's get to the tape where the commander got on the scene, and you guys listen for yourselves. He's now approaching there. Commander Mahendra Singh, a controversial figure in the Guyana police force as well. No angel, very controversial individual. In fact, I can speak from personal experiences, and I can say this publicly, that I'm surprised that he's commander. In fact, I'm surprised maybe I'm not surprised at all, because you have the acting commissioner of police, you have all these other dotish guys there in senior positions, a lot of them, not all. I'm not painting all with the same brush, but let's head back to where the commander now arrived on the scene. Let's go to that and hear how this thing happened just about maybe half hour or 45 minutes ago.
Sorry. It's a confrontation between the police and the commander, Mr. Mahendra Singh. The ranks are trying to clear the road, but the protesters are demanding that they need justice.
This crowd has lit fire in the presence of me. Most of them are nothing but crowds. Let me make it very clear. If and when we are getting instructed to go into action, don't ask me why. I'm reporting to you. I am reporting to you that there are about 8 persons here. Males and
Okay, so he did say most of them are nothing but thugs. The commander didn't go in a proper way to calm the people down. Said most of them are nothing but thugs. When confronted by Travis Chase, he denied ever saying that. He never said that. That is according to him. You guys heard. We'll go back to that. We'll go back to that portion.
This crowd has lit fire in the presence of me. Most of them are nothing but crowds. Let me take it very.
All right. Again, you guys heard, right? What did you hear? In the event that we're hearing different things, what did you guys hear? Did you hear anything about thugs? Let's hear. What did you guys hear? Because apparently he didn't say it. He's the one who said that. He didn't say that. He never said that. He, moments after that, said he never said that. He said he never described people as such. What did you guys hear? Where's Mark Henry? Disappeared. What did you hear, Mark Henry? What did you guys hear? I want to hear if I heard the same thing. And not so long after, we'll get to what he said to Travis Chase.
They know that the police have shot somebody and they doing nothing. That's all.
That is Commander Mr. Mahinder Singh. You're live.
I am serious.
Yes.
This which is happening here is not as a result of police action. Let's be very clear. This is not as a result of the action of my police or me. This happened. You're disturbing me. This happened as a result of a private action in court by the owner or supposed lawful owner of this property to my right.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with the police.
So why were the police?
are here to maintain the peace.
Why were the police on the land
The
yesterday?
police are standing here to maintain a peace, to maintain that no peace is peace. The police present to reinforce support.
Them beat me
From Moscow, decided to assault persons who are there on the property.
You're aware that the police fired like rounds yesterday.
No, my force,
police
my
there.
integrity does not
The
protect a
sergeant here was
and
there
or king
yesterday.
of Dunbar. So I will tell you that I do not know, nor am aware that same occurred.
And so some people
I
were
was
arrested
there
yesterday.
yesterday when shots fired.
Yeah.
3 persons were arrested
For what?
reference to disorderly behavior and other offenses. And if you would observe, this which is happening here is tantamount to what kind of activity?
You tell me.
You tell me.
Public terror, causing public terror. Is this how civil society behave? Is this how lawfully abiding citizens behave?
Isn't there
And we must not blame it that the police provoke anyone to cause this to happen. That is not so.
Is it?
You can smell the next sentence coming. The police are not here to harm anyone. The police are here to maintain the peace. How then can them come out now to provoke a situation which doesn't exist?
Do you have somebody within your division that can negotiate with the protesters?
Why do you think the commander is here? What do you saw me doing? What you saw me doing?
I'm listening to you.
But that's what you can observe. Give me a fair hearing.
Mhm.
You can listen to yourself and see the behavior practice. Instead of engaging, they are provoking. But the police will not be provoked. They are trained professionals. And like yesterday, we will remain here to ensure peace prevails. The road is clear. This is not another occurrence like another one which occurred in this one.
So you decide to work for us and negotiate.
Actually, they are the police. Just always speaking on me, right?
Okay.
Yes.
Are you willing to engage with some
That
of
is
the
why I'm here, and since I came, that's the first thing I did. And I'm willing to continue.
I heard
Everything
you.
I've received and the leadership provided to me is to engage.
I heard you call them thugs on your radio set. Why would you do that?
To me.
You call them thugs.
Me?
Yes, you said I have you on record saying that they're okay.
Maybe you heard someone say so. because-
No, I heard you. No, I heard you say they're nothing but thugs.
This thing is quoting someone like I am just saying exactly.
Yes, sir.
I'm telling you and report to a Guyanese citizen as a thug. Listen carefully.
Listen.
You quote me on that.
No. Hold on, sir. But you said just now that they are nothing but thugs in your own words.
If you wish to put words in the mouth, go ahead. I'm saying to you, I'm here to engage. If you wish to assist the process, do so.
No,
And I trust you that you were here last night,
I was.
and other people were here this morning.
I was here this morning as well.
Okay, so he did say thugs. He said most of the people are behaving like thugs. And then moments after, he denied it. And then he said that Travis Chase or nobody would be putting words in his mouth, that he, Mahinder Singh, do not refer to people as thugs. This is dangerous. Dangerous coming from him. This is dangerous. Dangerous. He didn't realize that he was live. And then you saw the swift denial. How can you trust somebody like this? How can you trust a police officer like this? A liar. How could you trust him? I don't know. We need to we need to get back to when he did call the people thugs. And of course he denied it. Let's get back to that portion right there, referring to the people as thugs.
This crowd has lit fire in the presence of me. Most of them are nothing but thugs. Let me make it very clear.
Most of them are nothing but thugs. Most of them are nothing but thugs. You guys heard that, right? Most of them are nothing but thugs.
This crowd has lit fire in the presence of me. Most of them are nothing but thugs. Let me make it very clear.
All right, so you heard that. Most of them are nothing but thugs. And then, not so long after, let's get straight to the denial. Not so long after, less than 2 minutes after, this is what happened.
I heard you call them thugs on your radio set. Why would you do that? You call them thugs. Yes, you said I have you on record saying that they're okay.
Maybe you heard someone say so.
No, I heard you. No. I heard you say they're nothing but thugs.
This thing is quoting someone like I am the same exact same.
Yes, sir.
And then you and the report to a Guyanese citizen as a thug. Listen to me carefully.
Listen.
Quote me on that.
No.
Aren't we just all fed up? Did you guys just hear that guy said no? Wow. This is shameful. Shameful. Just call the people thugs. Then a minute or 2 minutes after said that he would never, Mahendra Singh, would never refer to a Guyanese as thug. Oh. Wow. Dangerous bunch of people. Seriously, dangerous bunch of people. Dangerous. And then the Karasabai fire. Thankfully, all were out safe. There was a fire this morning in Karasabai. Kebran Singh is saying that they should have the radio recording in base. They wouldn't, even if they have it in base, they wouldn't release that. They wouldn't release that in base at all. We don't need the recording in base. He said it live. No one could put words in his mouth. He is the one who said it. That most of those people are nothing but thugs. And we are hearing that the building or that plot of land that they're fighting for, some guy by the name of Bashir Mohammed. I don't know, from the Mohammed's clan. I don't know whether it's that, those dotish bunch, but I just don't know. But a guy by the name of Bashir Mohammed is fighting for the people's land. And that's what's happening. What else is happening in Guyana? What else is happening? I honestly, sorry about that. How can you trust this guy? Just imagine he's going to write a statement. Just imagine if he writes a statement a confession statement or come and tell you that someone has confessed to a crime. Just imagine, what would you think of that statement? Just imagine he goes into a witness box to give statement. How do you think people would interpret that statement coming from this guy? You know, it's like I honestly, I don't know what else to say to you guys any longer. This is social media. This is social media, albeit through 107.1 FM. But this is social media. This is what you guys get to see firsthand. This is no propaganda. If it wasn't recorded live and someone repeated it, then he would want to take action against that individual. He wants to sue people. Sue because they're doing all manner of things to his character. I don't say that. I don't refer to Guyanese as thugs. I don't. But I bet if he was out there in Bat settlement and so forth, or even if people were protesting at Manripo, you would not describe them as thugs, but he feels comfortable describing those people, most of those people, and we know who most of those people are. And so he is comfortable describing them as most of them are thugs. He's comfortable with that, right? He is comfortable with that. And I am not comfortable with that coming from him at all. And in fact, since he has been caught lying, he should be disciplined, and there should be an apology, even though those things don't happen. Even though those things don't happen, but let's go back. You want to hear him for yourselves, right? Listen to him.
Most of them are nothing but thugs. Let me make it very clear. If and when we are giving instruction to go into action, most of them are nothing but thugs. Let me make it very clear.
Most of them are nothing but most of them.
This program is fire in the presence of me. Most of them are nothing but thugs. Let me make it very clear.
So you guys heard him say most of them are nothing but thugs. Yep. So sorry about that. So that's what you heard there, right? That is exactly what you heard there. That's exactly what you heard there. And let us according to sorry about that. Yeah. According to we're not seeing, sorry about that. We're trying to get to another breaking news story. Just seeking clarification first on the authenticity of that report. We're hearing that. Sorry about that. I'll take another phone call. Don't go anywhere.
If and when we are giving instruction to go into action, Don't ask me why. I'm reporting to you. I am reporting to you that there are about 8 persons here, males and females. 2 police were assaulted in my prison. Constable Edwards, members of the media are standing by as if this is a spectatorial show. I am clear that after the break, action, it is for action. This crowd is no longer behaving in a manner which indicates
They know that the police have shot somebody and they do not do that.
That is Commander Mr. Mahinder Singh. You're live.
I am serious about what I'm saying.
Yes.
This which is happening here is not as a result of police action. Let's be very clear. This is not as a result of the action of my police or me. This happened. You're disturbing me. This happened as a result of a private action in court by the owner or supposed lawful owner of this property to my right.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with the police.
So why were the police?
are here to maintain the peace.
Why were the police on the land
The
yesterday?
police are starting here to maintain a brief to maintain that no peace is peace. The police present to them first of all.
Them beat me to
From Moscow, decided to assault persons who are there on the property.
You're aware that the police fired knife rounds yesterday.
No,
This was
my
one of the
force
police
is
there.
does not
This
protect
sergeant here was
and
there
or king
yesterday.
of Dunbar. So I will tell you that I do not know nor am aware that same occurred.
Some
I
people were
was there yesterday when shots fired.
Yeah.
3 persons were arrested for reference to disorderly behavior and other offenses. And if you would observe, this which is happening here is tantamount to what kind of activity?
You tell me.
Public terror, causing public terror. Is this how civil society behave? Is this how lawfully abiding citizens behave?
Isn't there
And we must not blame it that the police provoke anyone to cause this to happen. That is not so.
Is it-
You could smell the next sentence coming. The police are not here to harm anyone. The police are here to maintain the peace. How then can them come out now to provoke a situation with those bedrooms?
Do you have somebody within your division that can negotiate with the protesters?
Why do you think the commander is here? What do you saw me doing? What you saw me doing that?
I'm listening to you.
But what you can observe, give me a fair hearing.
Mhm.
You can listen to yourself and see the behavior practice. Instead of engaging, they are provoking. But the police will not be provoked. They are trained professionals. And like yesterday, we will regain here to ensure peace, prevail. The road is clear. This is not another occurrence like another one which occurred in this one.
So can you qualify 2 or 3 persons and negotiate?
Excuse me, I need to hold this. It's just always speaking on me, right?
Okay.
Yes.
Are you willing to engage with some
That
of
is
the
why I'm here, and since I came, that's the first thing I did. And I'm willing to continue.
I heard
Everything
you.
I've received and the leadership provided to me is to engage.
I heard you call them thugs on your radio set. Why would you do that? You call them thugs. Yes, you said I have you on record saying that they're okay.
Maybe you heard someone say so.
No, I heard you. No. I heard you say they're nothing but thugs.
This thing is quoting someone like I this thing exactly.
Yes, sir.
Look at this thug. Take a look at this thug in police uniform. Just take a look at this thug. This ruthless thug in police uniform. Take a good look at him. He's the commander, Mahendra Singh. No stranger to controversy. Mahendra Singh. Just called up people. He just said most of those people are nothing but thugs. Not long after, 2 to 3 minutes, not 2-3 days or 2-3 hours or 2-3 years, 2 or 3 minutes after, this thug in uniform, this police thug addressed people as thugs. Then, not so long after, his thugs, he and his thugs, they opened fire, shooting several peaceful protesters there. This thug. That is what they did. So he has no moral authority to describe people as thugs, when in fact, he needs to look into the mirror. He's a bigger thug than those people who lost their homes. Their homes were broken down. They were brutalized last evening. by some members of the Guyana police force who walked into the people's home. We saw that. It was live. We saw it. This is not long time when you don't see things and they could cover up. We're seeing everything live. What they did to the people last evening on behalf of a questionable businessman, a so-called businessman, that they use the police force, these thugs in uniform, this thug that you guys are looking at right now, who feels that he can address others as thugs. Those people there burning zinc sheet and burning tires or whatever, they're no thugs. They're reacting to brutality that was meted out to them. That is their reaction. You break people's homes, you destroy their livelihoods. How do you expect them to behave? How do you expect them to react? Do you expect them to go into church or the mandirs or the masjid and just pray? Do you expect them to say, oh, leave it in the hands of Jesus? Do you expect them to say, leave it in the hands of Krishna? Or do you expect them to say, Allahu Akbar, and that's it? They are going to react. And what we're seeing here today, folks, don't get me wrong, please, what we're seeing here today is a direct reaction to the thuggish behavior displayed by members of the Guyana police force last night and operatives of the PPP, the corrupt PPP regime that went into people's community and destroyed the people's homes. I sympathize with those people. Those are not people who could buy a Lamborghini or buy a Ferrari. They can't. Some of them could just probably buy a little bag of Polari. One lady said she saved up her money, about $800,000, but the overall structure and the property is about $2 million. Another man said he just came in from work. He works at the airport. He lost $150,000. These are hardworking people who are reacting to a situation. They have nowhere to live. They have nowhere to go. They have lost virtually everything. Everything they lost. They don't know what to do now. They are frustrated. They didn't pick up guns and go looking for anybody to hurt people. They put those, tires and whatever else across the road to get the attention of the authority. They didn't burn down people's properties. They didn't hurt people. You guys, you thugs in uniform and thugs in the PPP, hurt those people. It's a reaction. All they want is attention from those who are in authority, but they're not going to get the attention from those in authority. Those thugs in authority, thugs like Irfan, thugs like Barrett Jack Dave, thugs like Ropes and Ben, thugs like Mark Phillips. They are a bunch of thugs. And you, Mahendra Singh, is a thug in uniform, having seen what you guys did to those people there. You guys are the thugs. Mr. Caesar, good morning. Let's get your reaction, please. Yep.
Good morning, Mark. Am I audible?
Yep. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning to the listeners. Good morning to the viewers. Mark, this government is heartless. They are gutless. They have no feelings. It's not a government, it's a criminal organization here that was placed in power, to terrorize the people of Guyana. This is what we're seeing here. We're not even 10 days, 15 days past burying 20 children that was killed in that fire. And I place that squarely on the feet of this government. They waste no time. They're trying to detract away from what happened to those children. They go to the Soesdijk Linden Highway and they just bulldoze their own citizens. You know, a lot of money was lost. Last night I was just concerned about where are these people going to go. I mean, when you live in a country and you don't even have an opportunity to get a piece of land to live, to raise your family, you know, and you have businessmen, external businessmen at that, coming into the country and just claiming lands. Now, we remember they had this mapping exercise where they were mapping out the country. That was not for the people of Guyana. We have to start thinking here. That was mapping out Guyana for sale. Okay, the country is right now on sale. Everybody is buying in.
You know, you are correct. The country's on sale. The crocodile tears from the regime. They don't care about the people. I'm sure you saw last evening how those people were treated, all because some corrupt businessmen. And we got to find out who those so-called business people are, and we've got to boycott their businesses, whatever, wherever
They
they
mustn't
go.
have peace, Mark.
We've
Mark,
got
they
to,
mustn't have peace.
we,
They
we,
must not have peace.
we got to boycott their businesses. No more money should be spent with those people. We got to find out who they are, and they should not be able to profit any longer from people in Guyana, whether they're external businessmen or local, because they have a lot of corrupt local businessmen who are in bed with the PPP. Some of them are drug lords, some of them are money launderers, some of them are part of terrorism acts and these things. And you see them occasionally giving out little money and taking pictures with people. Don't be fooled by that. Do not be fooled by that. So that's what we heard that there's a report that Smalley, who escaped from the Mazaruni prison, was shot and killed. This morning, there is no report, no authentic report about that, no authentic confirmation about that. So let me just say that there is no authentic report that that is the case. So don't run away with that rumor just yet. There is no authentic report to that. Mr. Caesar, go ahead, sir. Sorry.
Well, you know, Mark, this whole little smally thing here, I just want to touch on that. You know, it's really concerning because maybe this guy have information that he probably would have released in time to come, and they just loose him so that he can be executed. You know, the PPP government, man, you gotta get out in front of these people, man. You know, they are just putting up smoke screen after smoke screen. You know, we got to get in front of them. You know, June 12th has to be an impactful day in Guyana. There is no one in Guyana who should be voting for these terrorists. If you have any feelings for your fellow Guyanese, you will not vote for the PPP. You know, last night I watched, you know, as they're beating my fellow Guyanese, punching up women and all this kind of stuff. People, you need to get the names of these officers. You need to get their numbers because they should never be allowed to travel out of Guyana. Never. And to those officers, remember this: you guys have families, you know, twice a civilian, once an officer. Okay? You guys need to treat the people with more respect, man. Those same people are your clients. Without those people, you don't have a job. How can you be so inhumane with your treatment towards them? They pay taxes. Their taxes is what compensates you. It's what provides the vehicles that you guys move around with. It's what provides the guns that you guys wear on your waist. And still you treat them as if they're irrelevant.
You know, that's what they do oftentimes. But let's just give you another report that there was somebody who was shot and killed allegedly during a confrontation with joint services, and that person has not yet been identified. So we're not sure whether the report that Smalley was shot and killed during a quote-unquote confrontation with the police. That is yet to be verified. There will be a statement issued shortly. Hopefully it's an accurate statement, but for now, just hold on with the rumor. They're not sure who that person is, but the person was shot and killed moments ago by members of the joint services. Let's head over to Alnis Village. And Mr. Crawford, good morning, sir.
Good morning, How you doing?
Good, thanks. So,
good morning, listeners.
Yeah, you're seeing what's happening there on the Linden Soosdijk Highway. It started since last evening. In fact, let us take our listeners back to what happened as of last evening. The evidence is there for all to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where am I going to sleep? I am homeless. Watch at me right now. I have to left my job for come and because the elements, the destruction, the bad minded I break down we house. Indian PPP. Guyana get enough money. We are so rich that I can't live like they said tonight. They gotta find something good for we. But all these children, how are we going to school? How are we eating? How are we sleeping? Where are we going to go? Who's going to rescue me?
Let her speak. Let her speak.
That is true.
We're coming to you live from the back of Hillfoot on the Linden Soosdijk Highway.
It's actually $2 million that me and my spend.
Do for a living, mommy.
This is the extra that you went to. Oh, I can get the video. The man with the video in there.
Okay. Yeah, but I hope nobody's under the structure. This could collapse at any time.
Was in there when the person is dealing with our child.
Yeah, but as it is now, she's not resting under there or anything.
Yes, where she's.
You know, to sleep is right here. You gotta go sleep. This is the man, the house is right there. Right there, you gotta sleep. You know, I show you.
Yeah,
I want to show you extra kind of beach chair.
Yeah, open the video. I'll look at it.
No, I can get the video. The man with the video in there.
Okay.
I love the guy up with the video, but let's take a look what the guy is showing Travis.
Oh,
this is so. Hospital we went to the.
What am I looking at here?
This is the extra that we went to after when the police officer beat a female with a button, kick she belly, beat she and kick she belly. How could they do? How could they do another man's wife though? Yeah.
Wow. She's in hospital too?
No, look, she's there.
Okay.
With your hands still full up.
Wow. All this happened today?
Yeah, all this happened today.
Come and let them know what.
No, okay. I will put it to you around. I'll put it to you. No worries, sir.
I refuse to come out the house when I come today. And couple well, them come with a button and they beat me well of stretch on this one hand. All of my body parts. When they go over to the house, I go in the house trying to pack up certain stuff. They come back, harass me, I run down the hill, they fire gunshot behind me. Plus I had
shot behind you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Plus I had my 5-year-old daughter stand up right behind the house crying. And they didn't even care and they tried running behind me also. My husband wasn't around, he went to work.
You got a medical from the hospital?
Well, when I got to the station, I mean, want to give my medical. I went to the station, I went to, what's the station name? Diamond and Grove Station. And when did I went.
All right, so we heard the people that out there. We saw everything. Mahendra Singh, the commander, denied that police was there, denied that police was involved. We saw it firsthand. Commander Singh later denied that he described people as thugs. He said he doesn't use that. He wouldn't describe fellow Guyanese as thugs. Like, nobody should put words in his mouth. But we did hear live. We played it several times. Called the people, most of them are thugs. Mr. Crawford, let's get your take on what's happening.
Mark, what we are seeing is a total destruction of people's rights in an attempt by the PPP to make this a one-party state. The disturbing thing that I'm seeing is the silence from the international community that are stationed here the human rights violation. And, we're talking about a democracy, and, United States is talking about there being the champion of democracy around the world, especially the violation of women's rights. Why should the police, who is supposed to serve and protect, are trying to use their position? Many of them are weaklings, to brutalize people, especially females, in an uncalled situation. Even if somebody may have mounted you off, you are supposed to diffuse the situation, not to escalate the situation or violate people's rights. What we're seeing, somebody is going to get really angry when their wife or girlfriend or sister or mother is being disrespected, and you're going to see a lot of fallen thugs of the police force. You can't have this behavior in today's society. And I'm still in shock that the opposition leader, with all of this, what is going on, is not beating the airwaves on a daily basis, even if it's 2 times a day. What we're seeing now is something that we cannot afford to let it get to be a norm. Somewhere along the line, we have to draw the line. And many of the opposition people are claiming to be God-fearing people. Well, the good book says an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. So this is where if you really believe in the good book, then you have to react now. This is where your respect, your dignity, your survival, everything is at risk. You cannot have these people, the commander, saying without knowing who he's dealing with, calling people thugs. That is unprofessional, and it's going to have a backlash down the road with him, what he said, because you can't make off the cuff statements not knowing the facts and then on live television try to deny it. He could have said, if he was smart enough, to say, I spoke out of context and let it be. But we're seeing that these people are doing stuff and do not want to own up to it and think it's the normal thing to disrespect people, and it will be okay. You can't destroy people's homes and don't have people to become irate. You take away the little that they have, you strip them of their dignity, they are going to retaliate. It's a normal human behavior because we are a higher class of animals. And when fear and stress kicks in, or animalistic behavior comes in. And, those people are right to do what they're doing.
And I agree with you. They're 100% in their right. They're not thugs. That thug in police uniform, Mahendra Singh described those people who were hurt by a system that went after them, a brutal system headed by the PPP regime. So how else do they expect those people to react, Mr. Caesar?
Yeah. Look, Mark, when you look at the behavior of that senior superintendent, we cannot be surprised. Listen, lawlessness starts at the top and then it trickles down. And there will be no repercussion. If you have a lawless government, the people who works for that government and under that government can do whatever they feel like, and there will not be any repercussions. JR, also I want to touch on something that you talked about earlier. You spoke of democracy. Democracy is something that you have to fight for. You're not going to just get it like that. That's not how this works. Democracy is something you have to fight for. JR, can you show me where the fight is? We cannot continue to sit in this posture and allow, you understand me, these terrorists to just trample over our people. The posture have to change. The people have got to step out. They have got to step up. They've got to coordinate. They have to come together as one. Please ignore race, ignore class, ignore gender. Don't just have the people of the Linden Soosdijk Highway up there blocking the Linden Soosdijk Highway. That's not doing anything. We have to come out as a collective unit and stop movement in that country. We have to show these people that we are just not going to take this anymore. We don't have to be violent. We don't have to be violent. We could just stop the movement of everything, stop the flow of money, start boycotting businesses. You see, these are the things that we're not doing. So therefore, we're not having an impact on these people. The opposition got to get out there. They used to have Tuesday protests in front of GCOM. I can't tell when last I see one of those. I am starting to really feel funny across the entire government here, JR. I am starting to feel like if there is collusion, I don't know who to trust here.
Mr. Caesar, I have lost a lot of communication with people when I said that the wrong people were placed into important positions a few years back. We are having people electing or selecting people based on emotional connections. When you look at the past, you have to go out there and look for people that are structured, and their core values are there, and their commitment to the entire Guyanese nation are first and foremost. We can't have people with a nice smile or body or this and that. No, we have to have people that will work and will stand up for what is right. Right now, the main opposition, the PNC party, they have people who will catapult the party back to prominence within a couple of weeks. They don't want those people up there. And at the same time, by being selfish and what I want to say lethargic, they are hurting the nation completely, because we are not having a resistance to all the wrongdoing that is meted out to the Guyanese people. If the people of Linden, the government wanted that land, there must be discussion. The opposition leader must be a part of the discussion. If the opposition leader is not garnering this respect, he needs to get in contact with people in the international world so we can get this thing straightened out and put the PPP to the test. They were calling for sanctions on Mr. Granger, so let's get the people to sanction them. One of the main things we should be doing right now, if they're acting stupid, then we must fight against the production of oil. Stop the damn production of the oil. Let us all starve, and we'll see who survives. What is going on? You cannot disrespect people because of their race or their ethnicity, their gender, or their financial standing, because you feel that you're almighty powerful because of the money you got in your pocket. You can't go and run into people's and take away people's homes.
And then not only that, JR, expect people to sit quietly. Let me.
But Mark, the other thing here.
One second, guys. Let's hear Crawford. Go ahead.
We are going to have a very serious pushback in this country. People are going to start to react, and the sad part of it, it's not bad to push back violently when people are coming to you violently, but innocent people are going to be caught in the crosshairs, because when you're heated, you would not take time to recognize who is or who aren't against you. And that is the problem here. The innocent lives are going to be at stake, and the few that are causing the problem do not care if their own supporters are hurt in the process. The police force should sit down and restructure their behavior, because you can't be this biased or this brutalizing towards citizens who haven't done anything bad to deserve this treatment. Why is the police force acting as a henchman? They're there to protect, not to brutalize.
Oh, thank you. That they have always, for the most part, and especially when the PPPC is in power, we saw a different police force under the coalition. And so it is not like the police force can't operate lawfully. But when you have an unlawful government and you have dictators and you have corrupt individuals heading a government, as is the case now, then hey, that's we got a press release issued by a press release MP, who is the shadow minister of Home Affairs, because that's all we get these days, a statement, and that's all. no action on the ground. Gita seem to be missing from the ground, which is where people want to see true representatives, but and representations. But every time there's an issue, sometimes we got to pull a statement out of these folks. But there is a statement issued by Gita Chandan Edmond, who is the shadow minister of Home Affairs and is also a member of parliament. And in it said that in the absence of a comprehensive and structured housing policy and a plan to end poverty, there will be an attempt by citizens to provide for their families, blah, blah, blah. She hereby calls for an investigation of the incident at Hillfoot. She's calling for an investigation. She called for an investigation in the permanent secretary. There's no investigation, and that's it. What Gita should have done, along with others, they should have been out there in front of the Ministry of Home Affairs protesting. Don't just issue a statement on Facebook, Facebook post, and that's not, again, my friends who are listening, some of you might get angry, but that is not politics. It's not representing your people. No one took the time out, not Gita, not any one of them, to go out there in front of Ropes and Ben's office to protest. Because a lot of people get their friends in places, and so they don't want to offend their friends. We're still waiting to hear something from Annette Ferguson, who happens to be the shadow minister of housing. Coming up at 11 o'clock, we will break from here to head over to Congress Place. They have a press conference coming up. We will carry that press conference live right here. But let's get Mr. Caesar, please. You wanted to say something that JR and I took up some time. Sorry about that, but go ahead.
Yeah. You know, Mark, I was watching the program earlier when you when someone, I think, was saying that, you know, they put all the blame at Mr. Granger's feet for what's happening now. And my response to that would be, this thing is so much more bigger than Mr. Granger, man. All right. We know what happened with Mr. Granger, but trust me, this thing is massive. All right. These deals were being cut way before the coalition could have even got into power. All right. So this whole thing with the PPP getting into power, this whole thing was navigated through the grapevines with the international community and everybody. And JR, I know you talk about us reaching out to the international community to impose sanctions on this regime. This is good. That would be very, very difficult. Although the evidence is there for sanctions. Why is it going to be difficult, JR? Because this regime and the international community, they have the perfect deal put together where they're satisfying the financial, not needs, but wants of the larger countries here. Right? This is
When,
this. Yes, go ahead.
when the reason for me saying that we need to reach out, it is perceived to be a democratic world that we're living in. Once you lay the groundwork and you made the attempt to reach out to the big ones to sort this thing out, and you don't have a response or something credible, then you go to the next level. Defend thyself. So no one could come to you and say you should have come to us. You gave them the opportunity to back themselves in a corner, and then you retaliate to primitive methods, which is always going to be a good way out. Because why would I live with someone knees at my neck? I prefer to die on my feet than to be on my knees. And this is what we have to guard against. We cannot allow people to disrespect us as Guyanese citizens just because a few wants to be Maharajas. This is nonsense. What is so hard for any government of the day to respect all of its citizens, have proper dialogue, do not covet people's stuff? If someone had the notion to go and squat on a piece of land there, you didn't go, they went. We was everything some.
JR, it's not just wanting it. You understand me? They went and they bulldozed those people. there was no alternative measures put in place to these people.
I don't care about alternative measures. If a group of people decide to live at a particular area, why is it that you would want to take that area that they're in there? Go, if you want to make a mall or a shopping center, go cut the damn trees down and make it somewhere and put roads there. They're good at building disposable road. They will make road all year long. Why is it that and existing quarters? You see it in America. If somebody wants to create a new community, they open up the area. They don't go bulldoze nobody because they have a shack there or older model house. No, people's rights are respected elsewhere in the world. But because we are allowing ourselves to be soup drinkers in this country, that is the end product. And I'll be damned if I lay down and roll over for these people. People must learn that a person's sacrifice on a piece of land, there's emotional connection. There may be other things that's connected them to that piece of land. Leave it alone. Why is it everything is this going to be a prime location? You create prime locations by having proper infrastructure in place in that environment. You can create a whole new city in the hinterlands and connect it with a toll road, and you'll make your money back over the few years. Why take away people's property?
And you know, JR, and the other thing is that these people.
Are we seeing anybody going after Pratoville to say that it's the black people land and you're living on it? Let's take it back.
And that's a whole different
No,
issue we would have to address at some point with that Pleasance Community Center ground. That's a whole
here. The issue here is the total disrespect for someone or anyone who do not subscribe to the PPP's behavior. The PPP party may have had a proper standing many years ago. The selective few who are manhandling the party should not be allowed to do so. We are all living together. We are all interdependent. We must not allow discriminatory behavior to divide us as a people, as a nation. We are losing millions and millions of dollars on the forestry, on the gold, on the diamond, on the manganese, the oil, and yet we have sugar that is a waste of time. We are having the wrong logic of being Guyanese. We are not. You see, we are so selfish that we don't care what happens to our land. All we care about is how big and how important we may feel in society, even though we are rotten to the core in our ways of assuming financial comfort, which is, when traced back, is all on dirty deeds.
All right, hey guys, 59 minutes after. Dirty deeds indeed. A lot of those corrupt businessmen, dirty deeds. I noticed somebody say, all talking, no action. Why don't you, Claude Shuri, go out and start an action? Ask your MPs in the opposition to start action. We are commentators, and don't talk about action when it comes to me. Please do, right? But tell your politicians that you need action. Tell your representatives that they should have action.
Mark.
Gentlemen, quickly before we join that press conference, and we've got to be very brief, please. You're about to make a point, or is Caesar? You want to make a point, sir? Let's hear from Caesar.
JR could go. JR could go, Mark.
Yeah,
Mark, you see the comment that you read there? Those are the stupid people. We have already put ourselves out there to bring to light and to educate people on how to become independent and be independent thinkers. And now they're telling you, why don't you do this? That's the problem with Guyanese. They don't want to be their own masters. They want everything to be spoon-fed and gift-wrapped to them. And that is why they're always going to be oppressed by a few. They cannot take their survival or their liberty in their hands. It must be somebody else doing it for them. By sitting here, I have lost millions and millions of dollars, and it doesn't bother me. I am still surviving.
Sitting here, I am more probably gonna lose my babysitting job too. you know, because that's what we do all the time. These people don't know the sacrifices that we make, and we are not elected officials. We are not being paid for this. The accountant is on his job at his office, decided to put on his headphone and squeeze away, lock his door so nobody can hear. These are the sacrifices you should be tending to your horses and your other stuff. Your
Mark, I have to report my housekeeping duties to the boss as soon as I get off the air. Because she gives me my required work to do.
And for me now, I constantly look and see if I'll get a memo that I no longer have a babysitting job.
Babysitting job.
Right? So these people think it's a joke that we have no time. We don't get duty-free concessions, you know. We don't get benefits from anybody. We don't get a salary at the end of the month. You get like those MPs, they get close to 300,000. I mean, I'm not jealous of they're being paid to represent. We are not being paid. And even when I was on the ground for all those years, don't talk about representation. Don't talk about sacrifices, guys. So don't tell me. Some of you guys got to bell the cat. Y'all got to stop sitting and waiting for people to bell the cat. I wonder what they're going to be discussing at the PNCR's press conference. We will be joining them shortly, and we'll see what they have to say. I'm sure they have a heck of a lot to say. A lot of things they have to say. That press conference should be on just in about 2 minutes or so. They seem as though they're running late.
Mark, I would hope that press conference would have been in the streets. I think that would have been the best place for the press conference to be.
Well, those guys are not street fighters, so they're not.
We can't continue to be locked up in air conditioning office and rooms to give press conference while people are out there paying the price that this dictatorship is dishing out to them.
Don't talk about the opposition. Some people gonna start cussing we here, and then when we wait for a salary at the end of the month because they ain't gonna give me nothing, and we gonna starve because we talk about the opposition. So all we should do is come on this program and just say the opposition are wonderful people. They're great. They love to take photographs. They love to do the hair. They love to put on makeup and run in, take a quick selfie. When something is popular, they run and take a quick selfie, but no action, no empowerment, nothing that follows. Selfie, posted on social media, and they're done. They're done with. But let us hope, though. Again, I say that there are some who are working. Don't get me wrong. But let's see what this press conference is all about, what they have to say. I know that they have a lot to say, They should be. They haven't started as yet. JR?
Mark, one point to note. Sure. Sorry to interrupt.
That's okay.
We have elected leaders in the opposition who are citing for, I would presume, monetary reasons to go against people in the same party. Imagine those cats. Just imagine them. What dignity do they have? Why are they elected into those positions?
The healing should start from within. The unity should start from within. Too much bad blood.
There's some that we have in our camp that are money hungry.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm talking about.
We should have the incident out there on the Linden Soos Highway. They should have been a team already out there. Of course, you can't have Aubrey Norton, the leader, all over. That's why they have MPs. They should have been the shadow minister of housing out there. Geeta Chandan should have been out there as well. Shadow minister of home affairs. The shadow minister of human services should have been out there. The shadow minister of education, they should have been out there. But for them, they feel just doing an excursion, walk through New Amsterdam, walk through somewhere, take some photos, a bunch of them together, and they feel that is sufficient. That fashion show, that display is what you call politics, being there with the people. But they don't know how upset people are when they do that. They just insult the intelligence of people. We're still awaiting the start of that press conference. So, Caesar, you had something else you wanted to say?
No, Mark, I just want to touch on what you just said, that Mr. Aubrey Norton cannot be all over the place. I mean, I know, sometimes I have to be, I'm not too critical of him, but sometimes I have to go there a bit. But a building is only as strong as its foundation, and a leader would only be as strong as its support. You know, so these MPs, they really got to step up and get going. They got to become consistent, man. They're just not consistent.
Absolutely. And then I noticed Faith Hope is saying that there's a particular MP that love to say their favorite word, you know, think that Facebook is just about selfies and photographs, but this particular MP loves to say, oh, the people cannot sit back and wait on us. Oh, God damn it, the people elected you guys. You guys are living off the sweat of the people. Go out there and work for the people. Not take photographs with them. Work for the people. God damn it. Every time they want people to go take the front, let them as leaders, or so-called leaders, let them take to the front for once.
Mark.
Well, yes, sir.
Another very, very disturbing is from party bigs who held very high positions in the previous administration. They are not lending their support when they're seeing the injustice meted out to the supporters that they benefited from so much, and that gets me very, very angry.
Most
and it's time now for them to be either they step up or they kick them out the party. Because you can't earn so much.
They feel that politics
by
is
this
just when
people and not to be representative of them.
the party should have, the PNC should have Congress this year, right? Anyways,
well, they need to.
Remember, you're a member. You got your party card. You got your party card.
Party position doesn't interest me. It's what we do for the poor people of this country. I am not seeking any leadership.
Let's get straight to this press conference here, guys. Let's allow the.
All right.
Thank you.
Good.
We'll get back later on and deal with some other issues, but thank you both. Thank you, Caesar.
So this is attorney Shellen Washington, owner and founder of the Washington Law Firm, located at 455 Utica Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. We're specialized in medical malpractice, personal injuries, matrimonial law, and landlord and tenant. If you're in need of legal representation, please give us a call today. The number to call is 718-877-3100. Consultation is free at no cost to you. So call us today to see if we can be of any assistance to your legal needs. Again, the phone number to call us is 718-877-3100.